Hey guys, I hope you're having a pleasant day. So, about 2 days ago, I watched the 2020 horror film The Special. And before I even start talking about this, I'm just going to say if you like body horror and you have a strong tolerance for the gross and the disgusting and the vulgar and the offensive, this movie will still bother you and you should definitely watch it. It's kind of great. So, about the plot. So this guy, it starts out, these two guys are at a bar, and one of the guys tells his friend that he believes his wife is cheating on him. And his friend, who is like the concentrated form of douchebaggery incarnate, says, well, I've just a thing for you. We're going to go to a brothel. So he proceeds to take his friend, who pretends to be hesitant, and I say pretend because he's on board pretty quick. He takes his friend, puts his friend to his car, and then he doesn't put a burlap sack. He doesn't put a blindfold. He puts a plastic bag over his friend's head. The plastic bag that you tell, people taking care of children not to leave laying around because it can kill you. He puts it over his friend's head, which I guess makes sense because why would he have a blindfold in his car? But it's still strange. And I think that's kind of what the movie's doing. Like, okay, before I go any further with this is this movie, okay? Try to visualize this mathematically. My arm represents a horizontal line of time. This is the beginning of the movie, and this is the end of the movie. This arm represents a vertical line of crazy. Okay, maybe I'm not getting this, but you guys. So, horizontal line of time, vertical line of crazy. Let's go this way. So, as this movie continues, does it get crazy, then kind of ebb? Does it plateau? No. The movie not only continues to get crazier, but it gets crazier at a faster rate, right? So if you could do a derivative, anyone watching this familiar with calculus, a derivative of the crazy graph of this movie, the derivative is not a constant. It's not. The rate of crazy increases at a non-constant rate. Okay. So let's continue. So he takes his friend to this brothel. He takes the plastic bag off his head. He walks in, and there is a madam at this brothel. The madam is vaguely Eastern European. They may say what country she's from. I don't know, right? Vaguely creepy. She has a Dracula accent, which I think they kind of acknowledge at one point. Let me turn this light on. He actually acknowledges at one point that she's a Dracula. She's a Dracula. She's like, what do you want? We have women here. So then these three ladies come in, or maybe they were already there, and they're just looking real seductive and not saying anything. And one of them has like this glitter on her face, which admitted it does kind of do something, for me. And he's like, oh, this must be the special, which is kind of weird. Look, the guy who's married, we're kind of presented as if maybe he's the decent guy, kind of decent at the beginning, but he's immediately referring to these women in third person as if they're just kind of these objects there. But the attractive woman with the glitter on her face, she's not the special. His friend is like, no, she's not the special, right? So already birds of a feather, we shouldn't be surprised here. Which, by the way, I'm not going to spoil this movie. I'm not going to give away, but I'm just going to tell you the beginning of what happens. Okay, so his friend's like, give my friend the special. So then the Dracula, she's like, yes, we'll come upstairs and get, okay, I don't know what that accent I'm doing is, but anyway, come upstairs and you'll get the special. She leads him into a room, and there's a box that says, put it here, with a hole in it. Yes, he's literally going to stick it in a box. Now, when I saw this box, the first thing that came to my mind was I got the option between the pretty lady with the glitter on her face or the PP guillotine, because as soon as I saw that box, I'm like, that's a PP guillotine. You're going to stick it in there, and you're going to get it. There's going to be like a little blade, and it cuts off your PP. It's not. He sticks it in there, and he has the most magnificent experience, like amazing experience, and he becomes obsessed with the box, which is something that a lot of young men do go through. At some point, they become obsessed with the box. Sorry. Okay, so some things with this. He sticks it in this box. Your best friend just told you he'd stuck it in the box. We're just willy-nilly sticking. Your friend stuck it in the box at the same time, but let's go. But anyway, So he becomes obsessed with the box and things happen. And I'm going to stop there because you should watch this movie and I don't want to give it away. Now, okay, so apparently the guy who directed this is a guy named Harrison Smith, and he's directed some other movies which I haven't, whatever, right? I've never seen before. Is there some deeper meaning to this movie? Because often, like if I watch a movie, I usually, I'll watch it, I'll digest it, I'll listen to other people's reviews. Maybe they see something that I don't see. Don't do that with this movie. Don't try to find a deeper meaning. Yes, there's something in there about addiction and the effects of addiction. And even at one point, the guy, you can hear it on a TV playing that, they're discussing addiction and what addiction can do to you. This Harrison Smith guy, he's trying to like wedge in some like deeper point into this movie about a guy sticking his wee-wee in a box and getting off. He's really trying to make this movie deeper than what it is. Could you find, sure, something about addiction, but don't try to give me a movie about addiction, some type of deeper story when fundamentally at its basis you have a dude sticking his wee-wee in a box and getting off from it. So watch this movie. Completely watch this. Look, this movie is, I'm not, like I've said in other movies, oh, this movie's wild, this movie's crazy, this movie's weird. This movie's all of those things, okay? Like I said, I've been watching, I don't know if I've already mentioned this before, maybe I've been watching Cronenberg movies since I was in single digits, okay? I watched the Fly remake with Gina Davis and Jeff Goldblum when I was a kid, right? Like The Brood. I've been watching body horror for as far back as I can remember. John Carpenter. I wasn't ready for this junk. While I was watching this movie, I had to check. I was like, okay, wait a minute. I make sure my phone was still there because I thought the year was 1993 and it was like 2 a.m. and I'm up on a Friday night watching HBO and some crazy whatever movie, like I'm watching Dead Ringers or something, which I don't know if Dead Ringers came out after that year or not, but you guys I'm just thinking of a Cronenberg movie, okay? You're not prepared for this movie. It is insane. Like I said, the pedal of crazy in this movie, it doesn't, like if crazy is a car and you're driving the crazy of this movie, I don't know if this works, but work with me, and you're pushing the pedal doesn't have a floor to hit. It doesn't level off. It doesn't start. The rate of crazy isn't constant. It just crazier and crazier. And that's all. I mean, watch it. This is not an exaggeration. And then at the very end, whatever you're thinking is going to happen at the end, even when you understand the ending of this movie, even when you know what's going to happen, and you won't know what's going to happen until about 5 minutes before the movie ends, even at that point, it will still manage to surprise you. That's what this movie is. Is it good? No. But you should still watch it.